Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tech with Alex Baja. In this video, I'll walk you through how to handle access to undefined routes in Laravel 11 using the fallback method. Let's get started. So what is fallback method? In Laravel 11, the fallback method is used to define a custom route with response when the incoming requests, either through the browser or an API request from a postman or an application, does not match any defined or existing route in the application. Say, for example, we have slash here as a route, we have the resource, the post resource route, and then someone is trying to access something like slash blog that does not exist. So how do you handle such situations? So this is where fallback come into place, where someone is trying to make a request to a particular route that does not exist in the application. By default in Laravel, the 404 page via the application's exception handler is rendered when there is an unhandled request. So there is a default 404 page that is returned whenever there is a request to a particular route that does not exist in Laravel application. The fallback method is defined once in any route file. So if you notice here, I have the web.php file open and I have the api.php file open. So the fallback method is expected to be defined only once in a route file, and then if you come over here to it, it's just defined once. So you cannot have two fallback method in a particular route file. So you may have other route file like maybe auth.php or something else, but the fallback method must be defined just once. So regularly in your route file, you could have like 10, 20 routes defined in this file here in this in this route file. And so ideally what Laravel does is that it will check them in the order in which they have been defined. So it will check this. If it is not the same with the request, it will move to this. If it is not the same, then it moves to this. So the fallback method is expected to be the last route in any route file in the Laravel application. So that's why it's the last here. So that after checking all of the routes here, if the routes requested for does not match any of these routes that are defined here, then it will return the fallback response. So basically, this is a fallback method. It takes in a callback function, and then if you want to return a view or you want to return an API response, it will actually return that if the route does not exist. Just to keep the video simple, this is how it works. So I'm just going to go to the browser to demo boot for when a user is making a request to a route that does not exist in an application. So how it renders the 404 page. So this is a custom 404 page here that I did here. So and then for API, we use Insomnia to just demonstrate how this works. So if you are trying to make a request to an API route that does not exist, this response will be returned. And then if you are trying to make a request to a from the browser for a particular page to be rendered that does not exist, it will return the 404 page. So this is the application running on host 127.0.0.1 port 8000. And then if you try to access, let's say, for example, let me just try to access active articles. So it shows active articles. Then when I try to access a page that does not exist, for example, so you could see this is a custom error page that we defined down that is being returned. So if I access something else, maybe for example, I just do something like market, any route that I'm trying to access that does not exist in the Laravel application, this will be automatically returned compared to the 404 page that usually gets returned here, or sometimes it will just show you one error you do not understand, but you want to be able to direct the user back to the application. So this is way better. So this could be any other button you want to do. So if I say go back home, so it takes the user back home compared to just an error where they have to close the tab and open another tab so that they can continue whatever they're doing. But you can actually customize that to say, okay, hey, are you trying to go to so application or are you trying to go to so place? I'll just go over to the Insomnia and then show you how it works for API. Okay, yeah, so this is Insomnia. If you are building APIs using Laravel, you can actually use Insomnia to test how your API works. So this is the port. The application is running on this particular host and port. And then I say API v1/info, so which is reachable. And then it says API rate limiting demo for version of this API. So I have a video on my YouTube channel where I explain how to do rate limiting in Laravel. You want to check that out on my YouTube channel. But then if you want to access a particular route or you want to access an API that does not exist, it will return the fallback method will be executed. So let me try to access something like blog. And then you see it says route not found. Kindly check the URL and try again. So if I try something else, for example, let me say market. So in as much as there is no route for that API, it actually returns this message. So this is quite a very neat way to design applications, and compared to just returning one random string and says maybe API slash v1 slash market does not exist, but this gives you control over the message. All right, that being said, I've walked you through an in-depth of how to use the fallback method in a Laravel 11 application to return custom page or JSON response when there are no defined routes or URLs for the requests coming into the application. Let me know what you think about the fallback method in Laravel in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, and if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly click the subscribe button. Until next time, bye.